What's up with y'all? Welcome back to another reaction video. I'm Ende.
And I'm Molly.
Today we got tipping culture. By the title of this video, you already know what this video is going to be about. How do you feel about tip? Well, look, how I feel about tipping is the only people that deserve tips are waiters, waitresses, and people who deliver DoorDash and Instacart. That's how I feel, because you could, like, if you're a waiter or waitress, you could be nice and have good service, and you know, DoorDash, they gotta wait in them long ass drive-thrus for you. They gotta wait in them long ass Taco Bell, Jack in the Box lines for you. But if I go to Chipotle and I pay for my food and I see the tip screen, who am I? I wanna know who am I tipping back there? Who? Because at least a waiter or waitress, DoorDash, you know who you're tipping. When I tip a big establishment, who am I tipping?
But then a lot of the times, like, low-key, like, the managers be taking all that shit.
Right?
Like, low-key.
Right?
Or they don't divide it even. Because when I worked at a deli myself, let's just say they didn't divide it even. And it was messed up.
What happened? They took all of it, huh?
What do you mean?
Like, the tips? How much did you get out of it?
Bro, we don't know, but like, we were all getting different amounts on our paychecks. Like the workers we would all compare our paychecks.
See, that's what I be talking about.
Like in the jar, it was easy to divide up between us, but on the register was a little different. The manager would do it and add it to our paychecks, and we're like, what's this? Like,
remember, like a long time ago, I used to work at El Torito's and I was the dishwasher.
Yeah.
We're supposed to get tips. We didn't get none of that. We didn't get none of that, bro. That's why now I used to like feel bad, like after I get some food and they bring up that tip screen, but now I'm quick to press no tip. I don't know who that shit going to. Come on.
Yeah.
This person right here, this waitress, I know it's going to her. It's
like
going in her pockets.
If I tip, I'll hand it specifically to the person that I want to get it, and I'll be like, "This is for you."
Exactly.
Like at the dispensary, that's what I do.
Exactly.
Just saying.
Yo. Look, I hope all y'all is taking. What the fuck? I hope all y'all is watching. I hope all y'all is watching this video is taking care of yourselves. Let's get into the video. Why did I say that back?
A generous act of courtesy you do when you're more than satisfied with the service you were provided, and you give them a little extra money. Usually you give these to your servers at restaurants, your barber, and strippers, just as a way of telling them you're doing a good job. Go get yourself a nice pair of undies. And this overall thing is practiced all around the world. It's not exactly a foreign concept for anybody. Tipping is a normal thing, but no place on earth lets it give out the tip more than the US of A. We go X Games mode with the tipping over here, cause we be giving everybody tips. We tip our delivery drivers, taxis, bellhops, housekeeping, house movers, bartenders. If you're an in-person service, then most likely you accept tips.
Right.
Even my homie's last job at the gas station, where he just pumped people's gas, he got over $100 in tips in one day. I didn't even know people tip for that. We love to tip everybody except the homeless. But has it gone too far? Let me go off real quick. But I've been seeing tipping options where I've never seen them before. Like counter services, you know, cashiers. I've never heard of tipping cashiers, but those blue blocks on the iPad beg to differ. One time I went to a concert and I went to the merch booth. I got a hoodie, bro handed me the hoodie, then turned around his iPad for a tip. Now I know these people don't get paid too well, but what in that interaction concurred a tip? Did he slip me $100 bill in a hoodie that I didn't see? I don't think so. So nah, I don't think I'm gonna tip. But I would usually see these in local businesses most of the time, so that's all fine and dandy. But I've heard Starbucks is also doing tips. Now, I don't really go to Starbucks because it's just not for me. I like my coffee a certain way. I like my coffee how I like my men. Long, black, and Vietnamese. And no offense to you Starbucks employees out there, but I'ma treat y'all like McDonald's and Burger King. Like, why would I tip the drive-thru cashier? That just sounds unnecessary. And as long as those restaurants are not asking for tips, then I'm never gonna tip. Don't get no ideas, please. However, I understand why these workers would want a tip, though. They work low-wage jobs, and sometimes they got families to take care of at home, so a tip or two would make their lives a little bit easier. But I'm selfish. I'm not trying to tip at Wendy's, bro. But I know that day will eventually come. I can smell it. This is the US. We'll somehow incorporate tipping into everything, so the employers can justify why they're paying their employees minimum wage. And whenever someone doesn't tip, they get mad at us instead of the business that's giving them a non-living wage. That's why tipping is super pushed. So restaurants, for example, can pay their waiters low salaries to encourage them to aim for tips. So the waiters have to be as upstanding, top of their tippy toes, holly jolly of a worker as possible to try to get ends meet. So the customer can walk away feeling happy about their experience, the owner of the restaurant being happy because of the profit and good look of the business, while the waiters walk away with a $2 tip and food stamps for a salary. Or at least that's just my theory, my game theory. Now, people that have never had a job might say, ain't that a good thing? It makes the waiters actually try to do their job well. Bro, ain't nobody wanna work minimum wage, period, bro, in this economy. Doesn't matter if I'm getting tips. All it takes is one bad day of penny pinching tips to be like, well, Scoob, I guess we have to eat whatever's in the fridge tonight. I should know. I used to be a waiter. I was a waiter for weddings and other events in my late senior year, and my wage was decent, $15 an hour, and for a high school student, that's pretty good. Plus, I only worked on the weekends. Man, this job was gonna be a breeze. But that was only because I was a kid. I ain't need that much in the first place. All I thought is, if I can afford food, sold. But to spoil the fun, most of the time, I did not get any tips or very little tips. And 95% of my gigs was at weddings, so the food was already paid for. I was giving these niggas free food, and I got nothing. And I was always all nice and shit. I was never mean. I was all like, hello, hot diggity day, what would you lovely people like to have? I thought I was doing a good job. I even shaved off my hair to be more presentable, which is something I still regret to this day. Don't cut the hair you love for no jobs. Unless it look like this, you might get no job with that. I did.
See, they was trying to make you take your piercings out.
Oh yeah.
What was that?
That was
that soap thing.
No, bruh. No. This is at Well, I don't know. Can I say the brand?
Where do you think they're gonna watch this video on?
I don't know. Okay, it's Ghirardelli. Ghirardelli Chocolate Factory. They didn't want me to work at their warehouse. No, it wasn't even the warehouse. They didn't want me to work in the store because of my piercings. Like, my piercings aren't even a problem. Like, what? But then I got hired somewhere where they paid me like up to like what, $6 more than that. And full time.
Yo, tell me about the job that declined you because you had hobbies.
Oh yeah. That was the soap thing.
Oh, that was the soap thing.
Yeah, so like I applied to this one job and it was a pretty cool job. Like all you do is like make soap. So like you would just like organize the soap pretty much. You just package it and like put it in little packages. And you could like listen to music on your earphones and just make the soap. And that's basically it. Like you just do that all day. So on the interview for the job, they're asking me, they're like, okay, so like they, you know how interviews go, they ask you a bunch of questions. So they got to this one question where they asked me like, so what are your hobbies outside of work? And I was like, oh, you know, like I'm an artist, so that's pretty much what I do is I make art on my spare time. And then they're all like, well, what mediums do you use? And this is where it got weird. Like, what the fuck? Why are you asking me what mediums I use?
They're trying to grill you.
Yeah, I was like I used to use paint, but I use Sharpies now. Like, what the fuck? But then we got into it like, okay, well, like, how often do you do that? Like, asking me hella questions. And I'm just like... Anyways, at the end of the interview, they're all like, well, because you make art, they're like, we're looking for somebody who isn't as creative as you because we just want somebody who can do the same thing every single day. Bro, what?
They basically said they're looking for a fucking NPC.
A robot,
right?
Not a real person. I was like, bro, what did you... They wanted me to say I don't have hobbies outside of work. Right? Work is my love, work is life, work is my life.
And wasn't it like 3 or 4 of them in like this, what is it, like a Zoom call?
It wasn't even a Zoom, it was like a phone call with like 3 or 4 people on the call. So I was like, what the, like...
Yo, at least it was a phone call. That would be so much weirder if it was a Zoom and it was all looking at you like
yeah,
this.
That would be weirder. But even a phone call, like I couldn't even tell whose voice is what. They just like, it was just wild as fuck. Like,
You say you have hobbies? We don't want you, buddy. That's fucking wild, dude.
Sometimes the biggest tip I've ever gotten was $40 from a table of old white women and a gay dude, and from then on, they became my target audience. I'd always pick the table with the gay niggas, cause I know they'd give me the biggest tip. And me complaining about small tips might sound like a trivial problem, but I'm talking about like in the grand scheme of things of this kind of job. Like if I was an adult with this job paying bills, taxes, rent, all that, I could not live like this. I know this because I had coworkers in their late 20s, 30s, 40s who said they couldn't take care of themselves with this wage. That's why they sold drugs on the side. That's why we should hold these businesses accountable to have higher wages for their employees so they don't have to rely on tips anymore. We must rise against this corrupt business practice. Who's with me? You're just saying this because you just don't want to pay tips no more. Well, duh. I don't like tipping. Who does? Who wants to pay more of their own money when they don't have to? I'm not a misogynist, a masochist. Wrong word. I am the other one. I'm not saying I don't tip. I do. But mainly because I want to at least try to balance out my good deeds with my bad ones when I'm in the pearly gates. I'm not trying to go to hell because I didn't tip my IHOP waitress who so happened to be battling cancer and diabetes that one time. I'm trying to get to heaven. But if I gave zero, darns, dangs, or I would almost never tip. I would look at the bill, then pay the bill, then end it there. I would only tip if I received outstanding service, because, you know, most services nowadays are just average, you know, regular stuff. Nothing to point out, but you still supposed to tip. In a perfect world, I would only tip if the person is enthusiastically nice. Fast service, give me a back massage, and also pay for my food. Then I would tip. I can understand tipping delivery drivers because they also need the money to pay for their gas, but that can go with the higher wage argument that I said earlier. And if they show up mad late, then I don't have to tip them. We should bring back the 30 minutes or less or the food is free rule. I'd start ordering food from Russia on purpose. Save myself a stack. And like I said earlier, I know these people need these tips to survive. I know they have mouths to feed. I know. I feel you. But in the back of my mind, I know I have mouths to feed too.
I ain't seen that commercial.
I haven't seen that commercial, bro, since.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, how do you even think of putting that commercial in there?
Bro, that just like lost. Bro, that was like a lost memory.
That just sent you back to like 2011.
It was just unlocked. Not even 2011.
Like 2009.
Some shit like that.
I don't even know.
That shit just unlocked. It's crazy how so much shit in your mind that's like back there like that. All you gotta do is see it and it just unlocks.
Yeah, that's weird.
How did he think of that? What the fuck?
I have mouths to feed. I know.
That's what I'm saying.
But in the back of my mind, I know I have mouths to feed
crazy.
too. My own mouth. And tipping is slowly taking that away from me. Now I'm gonna starve. And remember earlier when I said tipping is not a foreign concept? Well, apparently it is to most countries. Every time I look in the comment section for a post regarding tipping, 90% of the comments will be from foreigners saying, well, over here in Timbuktu, Jumanji land, we never even heard of tipping. I didn't even know Jumanji was a real place, but it sounds like heaven if they don't tip. And it makes me think the people of the U.S. here are purposely fucking me with this tipping shit. It's to be expected we tip 20 to 25% of the bill here. You will have a better chance pulling a gun on me and robbing me because that's the only way you're gonna get that much money out of me. And I've been seeing news reports about how there's a spread of self-checkout machines with tipping options. Who the hell am I tipping? Mr. and Mrs. Walmart themselves?
It was, bro. I knew I wasn't tweaking, bro. We went to Walmart and we like checked out our food. And I see, or like our groceries, and I seen that shit, bro. And I was like, huh? Like, maybe I'm tripping or something. Bro, I thought it was like a glitch in their system. They actually want to tip after you get your These niggas are hungry, bro. I just bought groceries.
At the self-checkout?
Yes.
At the self?
Yes.
Yeah, who are we tipping?
I don't know, bro. We just bought groceries. Why would you want to tip after buying groceries, bro? Imagine you go to the store and you spend like $500 on groceries. What the?
No.
Do I want to
take it out now? Take it out, Walmart.
Yeah, these niggas.
Take it out, Walmart. Take it out now.
It's gonna be everywhere soon.
Oh no! Don't say that.
Hey, all I gotta do is press no tip. No shame in my game.
They're gonna ruin tips for the people who actually like deserve it. You know, they're gonna make people be like, "God, see this tip and shit."
You're right, but I feel like the waiters and the waitresses they still gonna get their tips. The drivers, they still gonna get their tips. Basically, the people
I hope so.
that you see do the work is gonna get the tips. Unless, you know, like they say, cash is gonna be non-existent, then I don't know how niggas is gonna get. Unless you say, like, yo, can I cash out you this tip real quick? What the fuck?
Why they need my money? Why they need a tip? Any self-checkout tipping machine out there could suck the tip of my pee-pee. That's what you could do. And like I said,
at that
Self-checkout should be tipping us.
right.
Because we're doing the work for ourselves.
Who is that tip going to? That shit going to the people that's standing right there saying, next one, the light is green.
Nah, they should be tipping me.
earlier,
Right.
I do tip my delivery drivers and waiters. I do. But I hate tipping. I bloody hate it. If I could abolish it, I would. I hate it. However, I know it's the right thing to do. Or at least I was raised to
Not at
believe
Walmart.
if I don't
Right.
tip my waiters, I'm a which I don't really believe now, but I begrudgingly admit tipping won't kill me. So I still tip. How much I tip? None of your beeswax. And even though I tip most of the time, I'm not gonna tell y'all you should tip. You could do whatever you want with the money you've earned. Like, I could be spending my money on helping the children in Africa and building houses there. But how else am I supposed to pay for my drip? I need money for my clothes, man.
Is that
Those
real?
kids in Africa, they're not gonna pay for me. But yeah, those are my thoughts on tipping. Employees need better pay so I can stop paying. And in conclusion,
Element of surprise. Did you pray today?
Did you tip at Togo's an hour ago?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I did. Put it on this.
Clap it up for Ollie.
I always tip because I love food.
Because I love food,
Yeah, I get food every single day, like from somewhere.
right?
Sometimes I cook, but not all the time. Huh?
Yeah, that's crazy though.
Well, like most of the time, like if we're eating something cooked,
Yeah.
cooking it.
Yeah, right? Or sometimes she cooks it. Like she made
Sometimes
me,
I do, but
like she made me avocado bread like 30 minutes ago, right?
avocado egg.
Yeah, right?
Egg. That's not really like cooking. Yeah, I give it to me.
Maybe I should tip her later.
Oh, yes, Daddy.
Be quiet.
Well, like that's the video, y'all. Let us know what else you guys want us to react to. Like, comment, subscribe if you're new. We catch you on the next video.